Hi guys, welcome back for another House of Dragons discussion. And this time I want to talk about my top 5 favorite scenes from House of Dragon. Alright, let's start off with number 5 is when Rhaenyra said, "I am not a child anymore." So if you know that scene, then you know what I mean. Top 4 would be when Rhaenyra, when she was younger, she flew to Dragonstone on her dragon to stop any bloodshed. So that was very astig, and I really like that scene because it was earlier in the first season when it happened, and it shows her personality and that she really does deserve to be queen. Although it could have been impulsive, but it was a nice way of showing the people that she means business and that she wants the crown and that she deserves it. Number 3 would be when Daemon bent the knee. Now this is in season 2, and he was stuck in Harrenhal trying to build an army, and there was this guy who Rhaenyra sent over in order to ask his position, because of course, knowing Daemon, he might have taken the throne for himself. So building that army, this guy actually went to his side saying that this country deserves a king. So fast forward, Rhaenyra goes there and asks him what his position is. He bent the knee to her and swore loyalty to her in front of all the men, all his army. Because at first everyone ignored Rhaenyra because of course they swore fealty to Daemon instead. So when everyone saw him kneeling to her, they also did the same and swore allegiance to her. So I think that the reason why I really like that scene is because he really does love her and showed his respect for her. And I'm not sure if, because I haven't read the books, I'm not sure if he will change later on, but just for now, that's my top 3 favorite scene. For number 2 is when Daemon was in the Stepstones. He went because he got angry at his brother Viserys. So he went there to fight a war with Valerian. He fought it for 2 years, I think, and it was like a push and pull kind of war where no one gained the upper hand. You know, they pleaded to Viserys the king to help him just to end the war and help his brother. So he wrote a letter to Daemon saying that he will be sending ships in order to help his brother and asking him to come home. And this angered Daemon because, you know, he's the type of person that doesn't want others people to think that he can't do anything. So with his brothers sending him a letter saying that he would help him, this sort of like hurt his pride, so that was an arrow to his ego. So what he did was, because there's like a strategy talk that they would have to send him or sacrifice him in order to get the leader to come out, or to get their leader, because they are hiding in the caves. So although Daemon has a dragon and tries to burn down everything when they're outside, they would just retreat to the cave, and that's why it was like a staggered war, or a push and pull kind of fighting back then. So what he did was he went there all alone, just with his sword, and he pretended to surrender. And so all the armies of the enemy went all out on him, but unfortunately for them, he is a very good fighter or warrior. So he is able to hold his stand against them even though he was shot with an arrow. And when I'm not sure if they really talked about it because it wasn't really in the show, that they would follow suit after him, but eventually his dragon did arrive and the rest of the army did arrive, and then they had an all-out war on land, and this caused the leader to retreat into the cave, and Daemon went in after him and cut him in half, like not really half, sort of like a diagonal cut. So from the shoulders down to the hip, one big slash, one sword slash. So imagine how, if someone could have done that, imagine how strong they are, because just lifting a sword is really heavy, and cutting through something is really hard. Like ice slicing a piece of meat, like a piece of pork. So imagine if you can cut through with one slash. But of course, that being said, he is using Valyrian steel. I think his sword is made out of Valyrian steel, which cuts clean, by the way. And I really, really like that scene, although it is filled with a lot of violence. Top one favorite scene of all time is when King Viserys came to the help of Rhaenyra. Like, this was the time, this is season 2, when he's like really old and bedridden and really weak, and they drug him. I mean, I'm not sure if they like really drug him, like to the point that it's intentional. It's because he was in pain, of course. I'm not sure what kind of disease he has, but his wounds do not heal. So sometimes they turn gangrene. I think maybe he has diabetes, I don't know. But yeah, that's like the whole point of his disease. So he's bedridden, and to lessen the pain, they give him to the puppy. And that makes him, like, that clouds his mind. So when the throne of Rhaenyra's son is being questioned, she comes to him and asks for his help. And his love for his daughter is so strong that it empowers him to stop taking that pain reliever and get out of bed. And finally, on the day that they were trying to make a decision about her son's throne, or how do you say it, like airship or something, he enters the throne room and shocks everyone, and you can see that he's really struggling, like he's really in pain, but he still goes through it and decides once and for all to give the throne to Rhaenyra's son. We're talking about the throne in the Driftmark, I think. King of the Sea of Ships. So, yep. And yeah, that's my number one, because you can really feel how much he loves his daughter. You can feel the love of the father. And for me, that is my number one most favorite scene. How about you? What's your top 5 favorite scenes from House of Dragons? Let me know. Bye.